data shows that the engagement is 68%. And if I look at people are wanting to contribute, so positive score on perseverance is 60%, which is contributing discretionary effort. Clearly, people are engaged, people are wanting to contribute, but in India, we have a misconception that the productivity when people work from home is less because they are less focused. Now, how do you explain this dichotomy when people are saying that, hey, we're working from home, we're engaged, we want to work more, we want to contribute more, and the general perception being very different?
Sure. Yeah, we have the same concerns in the U.S. I think that it's again here. I really want to distinguish between regular remote work and COVID remote work. One of the biggest differences between those two contexts is the fact that, and I suspect it's the same in India right now with the lockdown, is that we all have our children at home. And, when they would normally be at school or they would have some kind of, nannies or daycare. And right now we are doing everything, right? We are, doing far more than you would normally expect someone to do. So I think that it's, what I've been advising managers and companies lately is, look, this is not normal remote work. And so, first of all, you should, be a bit understanding if you have employees, especially if they have small children at home. They may be less productive in the short run. There will be others who are going to be more productive because, we find that, some of the big savings and gains in productivity that come out of work from home come from not having commute time, right? Not having the time of transit to the office. And so there are going to be productivity gains there. And also, for people who do not have children at home, they may be enjoying what they consider to be more comfortable work conditions. So what we're seeing, and what I expect you would see, is a fair amount of variation, that younger folks, younger meaning, late 20s and 30s, who have maybe early 40s, who have children at home right now, it is hard. It is also temporary, right? This is not going to be it may last for a little while, but it is not going to be forever. Whereas other folks who don't have kids at home, you may be seeing a huge gain in productivity. I think that the one other thing that's worth mentioning here when it comes to work from home and productivity is that what we know, so there are two studies, one by an economist named Nick Bloom out at Stanford and his research team, and then another that I have worked on with Prithviraj Chowdhury, who's at Harvard Business School, and one of his doctoral students. And we have both studied productivity and, in Bloom's case, work from home, and in our case, something called work from anywhere. But in both cases, we were studying jobs that are fairly independent, meaning that they're jobs where people can do their work pretty much on their own. They don't have to rely a lot on other people to get their work done, so there aren't a lot of interdependencies in their work. And they don't require a huge amount of supervision because of the type of work that they do. In those cases, I think those, for many managers, many companies now, they're finding that those are their bright spots where they're actually, potentially seeing increases in productivity, because that's what we find. For those types of jobs, you can expect increases in productivity. I think the jobs where you find where the results are a little bit more muddy are jobs that require high levels of collaboration with coworkers or with external players, people outside the organization, on a day-to-day basis, so on a really constant basis. And I think those are the jobs where yeah, it is going to be trickier in the short run. Again, because we've done this. I think in India it was almost sort of in 24 hours, right? That you got the country kind of shut down with very little notice. We had similar situations here, sort of state by state. So I think that a certain amount of advice is acceptance of the current reality, and then advice to not take that as representative of sort of normal work from home. And the other thing I advise managers is to be watching right now for your bright spots. Where are you seeing people thrive in a work from home environment? What types of jobs are doing really well in a work from home environment? Which people that you have in your team are doing really well in this environment? Because those are the folks that, first of all, if we start to reopen and only certain people can go back to work initially, you know that those bright spots are people that you can leave at home for a while. And those bright spots may be people that you would want to leave at home if they want to for the foreseeable future. So I think there's both, caution in here, but also opportunity. And smart companies and smart managers are, really, I think that Tata Consultancy, I believe, announced just last week that, correct me if I'm wrong, Prashant, but I thought I saw an announcement that they are going to have a huge proportion of their workforce remain remote. Google has said something similar about their workforce. So I think there's lots of opportunity in here, but I would caution executives and firms to not draw long-term conclusions from what they're seeing right now.